What is folklore? And I want to address myself not to the artist so much, but to this very distinguished gathering. I think it is time that we look at the theoretical issues in terms of what constitutes, and we have here two very eminent theoreticians also whom I can identify. Folklore in its original, and yes, we have reinvented, and we have, as I've been told by them, put it in our context, as I've been told that this is no longer that moment in history when the bobbin revolution and the industrial revolution steamrolled all rural cultures, and then the word folk was invented from the German word Volk. And that therefore, what was not contained in what would be called the sabhi samaj of the literate society and the industrialized society, and that were the remnants of an earlier, were considered to be, and we know all those definitions from Mr. Taylor and everybody else on what constitutes, from Charles Taylor to other people. But I think that it is time that we think in terms of this aspect of it, because in our developmental exercises, we have once again considered, tacitly if not explicitly, that layer of society which has the creativity of the earth, that layer of society which speaks the language of the earth and the vegetation and the biodiversity, we have considered all that which belongs to that in terms of the more developed sections of society as folklore. And I think we need to reconsider that. And I mean this not facetiously at all. I mean this very seriously. This comes up in many, many forums, because what are the challenges? These are the double binds. On the one hand, there is a pull to development. On the other hand, equally that very moment of development makes you demand to have some anchors of identity. Those anchors of identity are these people whom we then showcase as our identity, whether it is the Todas or it is the drum players of Sri Lanka or Bhutan or so on. And I think that those of us who are the instruments in this whole exercise, and which means anything from little creatures like me to Veeranji to Pavan to all others who have been involved in all this, that we have to see what is it that we are doing which will ultimately not decontextualize those arts from the very earth from which they belong. That's the point that I'm making.